Hello, I'm Sarah. This is Hardcover Hearts, and I'm here with a book haul of an order from the UK. I put an order in, despite the fact that I had just brought it back a ton of books from the UK and Europe in May. But there was a new release in a specific edition that I wanted, and I can't get here in the United States, so I had to make an order. And since I was there and making an order, why not add a few things that I've been looking at? So with that said, let me show you what I got. The first one, the one that started it all, The Little Virtues by Natalia Ginzburg. And this is translated by Dick Davis, and with an introduction by Rachel Cusk. Look at that beautiful, sweet, lovely cover. Now, this is part of a series that Daunt Publishing has done. I have The Road to the City, The Dry Heart, and All Our Yesterdays. So as you can see, it's really behooved me to get the full set of what's at least been released so far. Let me read a little bit from this. Between 1944 and 1960, Natalia Ginzburg wrote The Little Virtues, a collection of 11 vivid portraits of life that are central to her legacy as one of the greatest Italian writers of the 20th century. From the Italian countryside, where she and her husband lived in exile under fascist rule, to the melancholy streets of 1960s London, Ginzburg explores loneliness and belonging against the backdrop of post-war Europe. And I've heard about this book, I just have never read it yet, but I love this cover. Then I took a look to see their signed editions and see if there was anything that I wanted. And voila, there was. This is Maps of Our Spectacular Bodies by Mattie Mortimer. This is a signed edition. Look at the end pages, gorgeous, right? And there's her signature. This was just longlisted for the Booker. I think I had already put my order in because I've seen some people talking about it and it sounded great. So as it was en route, the announcement came. So that was quite exciting. So I'm reading this currently for my In Real Life book club and really enjoying it. And by enjoying it, I mean it's breaking my heart. Then I really loved this author's last work. Very introspective, very thoughtful, and deeply moving, a reflective book. Not a lot of action, more introspective. And that was Pond by Louise Bennett. This one is Checkout 19, and look at that cover. Love that cover. The back says, I experience every few years an urge to recall this moment and the events that preceded it. Not only to recall it, but to write it down again. Write down again how he discovered something secret in the back pages of my exercise book and asked me if there was more. He wanted more of something I created, that I had, that I was. I couldn't tell these things apart. It is the attention of a desired man or woman that will blur the lines that distinguish them. I've heard good things about, so really excited to try this. And then they had a grouping of books that was called the Artists Grouping or the Artist Selection, something like that. And so I took a look and it had one of the books I wanted and then two that sounded really good. I've wanted this. This is Indelicacy by Amina Cain. And this one says, in an undefined era and place, a cleaning woman at a museum of art aspires to do more than simply dust the paintings around her. She dreams of having security and the time to use her mind and the liberty to be a writer. She escapes her lot by marrying a rich man, but having gained a husband, a house, high society, and a maid, finds that her new life of privilege is no less constrained. Not only has she taken up different forms of time-consuming labor, social and erotic, But she is now, however passively, forcing other women to clean up after her. Perhaps a more drastic solution is necessary. Sounds fantastic, right? And then these two were complete surprises, but they sounded so good. This is The Golden Flea, a story of obsession and collecting by Michael Rips. Really, really gorgeous little gold foil cover. And this one says, lyrical and enchanting memoir set among the stalls of New York's legendary Chelsea flea market. Michael Rips is not a collector. The only thing he holds on to are books and his diaries. But then he moves into the Chelsea Hotel with his wife and young daughter and discovers the Chelsea Flea, a famous secondhand market haunted by those hunting for lost treasures. The Flea was an integral part of Manhattan for decades, occupying several blocks and an old garage on the west side of the city. It's not long before Rips is a regular. In turn, the vendors educate him on the items they sell, from trinkets and vintage clothing to rare books, the West African boli, the old master paintings. As his fascination turns to obsession and comes to focus on a mysterious painting of a woman, Rips must consider what gives objects value and what drives his compulsion to collect. Sounds good, right? I think I might try this for Nonfiction November. And then this is Duveen, the story of the most spectacular art dealer of all time by S.N. Behrman. Also really, really beautiful, beautiful cover. And this one says, when you pay high price for the priceless, you're getting it cheap, by Joseph Duveen. Joseph Duveen was the world's most famous art dealer. His clients were among the most prominent and infamous Americans of the 20th century, including Mellon, Frick, Hearst, and Morgan. If you weren't a client, chances are you were a nobody. Renowned for his charm, shrewd salesmanship, relentless pursuit of the perfect objet d'art, and his ability to command eye-watering prices, Duveen was as unique as some of his priceless old masters. So all of these sound fantastic, so I got them. I will say, though, I absolutely adore Daunt for shopping when you're in London, and they'll ship things back. They're very generous about that, so that's been fantastic, or at least they did in the past. But this was a incredibly expensive buying experience because they don't do like the other bookseller that I usually buy from, which is Blackwells. Blackwells will do free shipping, and they did not. So I don't think I will be ordering from Daunt itself in the future to get it here in the United States because of that exorbitant fee. But everything was like, it was beautifully wrapped. It was high quality, really happy about all of that. And I'm happy with the books and the bundles. But I think I'll save Daunt for in-person shopping whenever I'm back in London. So I would love to know, have you read any of those? What are your thoughts? Do you know anything similar to that I should read that I haven't yet? I would love to know your thoughts. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.